Chapter 3. It is with careful and focused intent that the reality of this earthly experience is being engineered into a pattern of downward movement into the darker and heavier energies that are at the lower end of the scale in which the human body can exist. This makes the contact between the extension, spirit in body, and its soul, focused source, more difficult. This is not the whole of the intent. This allows for the possibility of the separation of the two energies. Intricate manipulations of this extension energy must be accomplished in order for this to be a possibility. The capture of this soul energy is for the purpose of causing a break in the chain of energies that extend from the matrix of the soul. It is the belief of those doing this that it will cause a breaking down of the positive energies that comprise the basic building blocks of creation. In other words, they perceive that causing a break in the return flow of this energy back to its source will cause a disruption in the larger combined pattern of the galactic matrix. The conception of this group of separatists is that a chain reaction will happen, allowing for chaos to such a degree that their focus can reorganize this chaos into their own matrix. This is quite an arrogant and ambitious undertaking. The plan includes many more quite fantastic steps to follow through to its completion. This is not a plan conceived on a moment's notice. It is one that has been put together over eons of time in your counting. However, since their plans are counter to the controlling parameters within which creation has come into manifested experience, they are unable to take advantage of the processes that also act as fail-safe guards available to the creation for the purpose of preventing this planned procedure from causing such an event. Your logical question is, how has this rebellion been allowed to continue to this point? The free will aspect is what has been exploited as the basis for their ability to manipulate humanity to be the vehicle of their power. Yours is the exact state of consciousness to serve their purpose. You are malleable enough to be influenced into desiring change when pressure is applied to the soul/extension connection, and change is exactly what they want. At each critical juncture in the previous cycles, mankind has been influenced to change what was present rather than to desire an entirely new experience. Within the cycles of energy that maintain manifested creation at the various dimensions, there are critical points which allow for changing the vibratory parameters of these dimensions. There is within this opportunity ways that they have worked out to create a downward spiral into heavier energy rather than the lifting of vibration as was intended. This can only happen when the mass consciousness of that vibratory level of planetary experience has its focus on experiences at the lowest level of that dimension. As we approach another of these opportunities, you can observe where the mass consciousness is with regard to what you call ethics and character by considering the role models that are currently popular. However, there is a risk for them in their process. There is a point at which their restrictive pressure of controlling the thought processes of the mass consciousness of the planet can backfire and cause exactly the opposite of what they have planned. This will cause them to miss the opportunity of the final dimensional vibratory change needed for completion of their plans. They have been successful in their use of various techniques, enabling them to greatly weaken the soul/human extension connection. Because of technology and greater understanding of the nature of human experience, techniques have been developed that indicate success in the process of separating extension and soul. There is considerable overconfidence in the success of the techniques used on individuals as being applicable to large groups of a critical percentage of the mass consciousness. The results of these experimental successes have them quite intoxicated and already savoring the completion of their divergent goals. However, it is possible to reverse those procedures and reunite the energies into wholeness again, though the complete healing of these beings that have been used as guinea pigs will require much help. The grace of the Creator shall be showered upon those individuals to assure the soul matrix is not distorted. The implications of this picture are many, but do not despair, for in the knowledge of this, you can plainly see that you are not alone in the healing of this situation. It is just that free will is at the essence of how you got yourselves into this situation, and it will be through the use of free will that you will desire to finally do something drastic enough that will get you through it. You have used change to get you out before, and it only altered the situation, it did not resolve it completely. In this case, the scenario is such that it is literally do or die, to borrow your vernacular. Within the proper choice of focus lies your salvation. Smile, you are on the winning side. Chapter 4. As each of you comes to understand this is the pivotal time in which to complete a spiritual journey involving multiple trips through the earthly experience, it will become obvious there is not a moment to be wasted in the final hours of this episode. If you are to accomplish this goal and end this chapter of the history of planetary experience, those who have chosen to mock the Creator's plan must not write it. This is a time in which you cannot leave this change in the hands of others. It is too great a responsibility to be left to a few. You must make your contribution in order to be assured that it shall be accomplished and that you shall be included in the multitude that make this a reality. To accomplish this, first you must open your eyes and see what is happening all around you. You must then come to the unpleasant understanding that you have allowed this to occur because overwhelming methodology of deception influenced you and you resisted becoming involved through taking any personal responsibility in changing it. Careful remembering of past intuitive feelings brings you to the truth. You are now and have been aware that something sinister is present. In all honesty, you lacked the courage to look at what it might be because of the implications of what it could involve personally. Courage to do this has come through the change of your attitude. The magnitude of the implication of what the planners of this situation are capable of doing to your personal future and that of family and friends has allowed your desire to know to overwhelm your reluctance. This then leads to the necessity of considering this larger implication for the planet and its inhabitants as a whole. This process has brought you to the point of looking directly into the face of truth. Unfortunately, it is not some religious or esoteric concept that is the truth that will set you free, but what it has been your desire to avoid at all cost. What you must understand is that this truth is about a situation that could end your earthly experience in extremely unpleasant circumstances, and places your eternal existence in jeopardy. The stakes are extremely high and the circumstances are dire indeed. This is not a time to hide in your usual excuse of, what can one person do? A large number of one persons can accomplish a great deal. Becoming cannon fodder is not the solution. It is required that you become a much more subtle influence. Learn one truth now. Subtle energy is powerful and the most powerful energy is subtle. Your Bible says, "In the beginning was the Word," but words are thoughts spoken out loud, an inaccurate translation. In the beginning was thought. That is the subtle energy that we are asking you to employ. Simply change the focus of your thought. Do not allow yourself to dwell upon the horrors of what is planned for you, but turn your thought to what it is that you would prefer to experience. You are trained by their methodology to think only about the programmed thoughts of acquiring things, opinions of others, self-preservation among thieves and murderers, and escape from self-directed thoughts through addiction to TV, movies, and soul-jarring music. Last but not least, pursuit of sexual experience, be it in or out of monogamous relationships. There is also the mind-boggling profusion of religious entities to further lead you from the personal quest of understanding the connection to the source of your presence on this planet in the first place. I can assure you that Jesus, Buddha and Mohammed had nothing to do with it. It is not that these beings did not exist, nor that they were not here to attempt to give you guidance in getting through this dilemma, but the messages they brought were distorted long ago. Neither did they come here to get you out by your belief in their existence, past or present. They came to teach you that you must get yourself through this by taking personal responsibility and creating through thought a new planetary experience. In this way only, will you be able to move through this painful experience. You accept this responsibility by making a personal commitment between you and the creative energy that focused you through thought into this existence. You will know how to participate in creating what will replace this living nightmare with a new experience. How? You search for it through your desire to know and to participate in its creation. Then through seemingly miraculous coincidence, how to participate shall become known to you. The critical point of the process is in making the commitment within your own awareness that the most important thing is participating in the creation of an experience that is 180 degrees opposite what is now planned to be your final earthly sojourn. The evidence of the necessity to do this surrounds you in irrefutable profusion. You need only to open your eyes, consider the changes in your personal freedoms that are happening in quick succession and listen to, hear, the researched evidence in both spoken and written presentations on your radios, internet, and in books. It is imperative that you respond to this information. You are encouraged to react only through your change of attitude and in your commitment to become a part of this subtly powerful movement. There will not be an Armageddon as suggested in their version of your Bible. It shall be a replacement of their planned world through shifting the focus of the awareness of the beings on this planet toward that which is desired rather than that which is being forced upon them. It shall be individual interchange that shall conquer the outer forces that plan to control your very essence of self-awareness. Upon the acceptance of this clarion call lies the future of your survival and the experiences that wait for you within eternity. End chapter 4.